Hi guys. Hello. Hi everyone. Lots of people already here. 31 people. I like chickens is here. Alyssa's here. Hi darling. Hi Emma. Hi baby love. Hi Kylie. Hi Sarah. Hi Sinead. Hi Belinda. Hi Nicole. Oh, Samantha's already sent me a super chat. Thank you, darling. Hi Dusty. Hi Summer. Hi guys. Hang on, let me start at the beginning. Hi, Loz. When you say see yourself as a girlfriend, does that mean affirming you're the girlfriend? Yep. And see yourself in the state of girlfriend. Like, how would you be treated if you're a girlfriend? What would be happening for you in your life? Visualize that as well. Alyssa, hey, Loz. SP has been so distant from me this week, but I didn't react. I just did 100% self concept. Wonderful, darling. And today you messaged me, basically purging all of his feelings to me, saying that he's sorry he's been distant. He just struggles to feel vulnerable around people, and that he's been making an effort to not push me away because I'm special. Loz, he repeated my affirmations to me. Oh, wonderful, darling. After a long day, that made me smile and feel warm. Oh, darling, it's working. I listened to what you said earlier, have been telling that voice off all day and have been forcing myself to accept people's compliments and love. Wonderful, darling. You asked earlier if I've been doing your sleep tapes, and yes, I have. I've been doing the get rid of the third party. I think that's perfect for you, darling, all about being a priority and chosen, no competition. No one even thought there was, even though there's no third party, but it helps me with the comparison and feeling enough and chosen. Oh, Alice, that's wonderful. I do have a question about lost items. Do you have any affirmations to find lost items? I lost my AirPods today, but have been trying not to let the voice make me anxious about it. Lots of love. Darling, just imagine them back in your ears. Imagine holding them in your hand with the weight of them and going, oh, thank God, here they are, and then turning on your music. Imagine how they feel in your ears. Imagine them back. Imagine them, the weight of them in your hand. Imagine ringing a friend and saying, oh my God, you won't believe it, I found them. Happens all the time in the group. People find them in the weirdest ways. Anything they've lost. Just imagine it in your hand. Imagine you got them back. You have them now. Imagine them in your hand. Oh, thank God. What do they feel like? Wonderful, darling. I'm thrilled for you. Oh, you're doing so brilliantly, darling. Oh, that's just a massive improvement just from yesterday. Hooray. Keep going, darling. How does Pete Davidson attract someone like Kim Kardashian while he is constantly saying he's depressed and hates himself? No, he doesn't hate himself. And he probably has abandonment issues due to his father dying. Right. So I don't think he hates himself. I think he's self-deprecating, which is very different. It's his style of like coping, right? And a lot of comedians do that. A lot of comedians have mental illness. That's why they're comedians, right? If you listen to Chris Rock talking about how he does 7 hours of therapy, right? A lot of comedians do. Okay. And that's how they cope with life, by being funny, and it covers up their trauma, right? So I think that the very big difference between Kanye West and Pete Davidson mental illness is Pete's very open about it, admits it, has got help for it, took himself off social media because it triggered him, took away all his triggers, and is very, very open and is doing something about it. Kanye is such a narc, he thinks nothing's wrong with him, right? I think it's extremely attractive after you've been in a relationship with someone who does not take responsibility for themselves or their actions or their mental illness, to someone who's fully taken responsibility for it, is open, is funny, is fun to be around. Yeah, you might have depressive episodes or have anxiety or whatever, but he's open about it and he's really fun to be around and a good guy. I think that's absolutely why he's attracted her. She also wanted someone normal who just had a normal life, and here they are going into, ice cream shops and shit and hanging out at the movies, something she never did before, really, while she had that fame kind of relationship with Kanye. And she's loving every minute of it because all she wanted to do was something ordinary and have just a normal life. And he's providing all of that. And I think he's very, very self-aware, very different from Kanye, which is why he's so attractive. And I find him personally, as a person, his personality extremely attractive because he's so self-deprecating and self-aware at the same time. I think he's like a wonderful human being. I love him. I think that's why he's so attractive to women. It's not about the size of his schlong like everyone says. It's about his presence. And he's also extremely tall, which women find attractive. But I think that's what it is, darling. He's accepted his stuff and he makes fun of it, but in a way that's, and about his dad, the thing about his dad died during 9/11. So that's been something present throughout his entire childhood since that happened. He's had to, he's the second comedian I know of whose dad was killed and then like make jokes about it. There's a guy in England whose dad was killed by the IRA, and he also makes jokes kind of to make light of his situation. But also got to remember Kim's dad died. So the relationships she's had, which have been the best ones, have been with people whose parents have died. Kanye's mum died. And they had a kinship there in terms of knowing what it's like to lose a parent, which is why it never worked out with Chris Humphries. That's my belief anyway. So they've got something really bad, huge in common there. Hang on. Amar, hi Loz, thank you. You should never ask me a question about Kardashian related stuff, guys. I'll be here all day. You know how much I love the Kardashians. God damn it. Hi Loz, thanks to you. I'm being more of a doer and less of a hearer. Oh, wonderful. Be a doer, not a listener only. Wonderful. I have much more confidence knowing I'm the creator of my reality. The mirror doesn't move me. I'm not afraid of my creations. The mirror doesn't move me. I'm not afraid of my creations. That's wonderful. I might turn that into an affirmation video. That's masterful. I love that. The mirror doesn't move me. I'm not afraid of my creations. That's great. The penny dropped when I had a thought. God is not afraid of his own creations. I couldn't help but laugh at the silly notion. He knows he created it. So if you know you guys are creating this, you can just laugh at it. Laugh at what the shit that's turned up. Oh, look at this crap that I created with my silly thinking. Jesus Christ, I'm masterful at this. Oh, well, that's great, darling. Love that. I think we share a deep connection and we've been in communication since the breakup. But now, since she said SP probably has had sex with many people's, putting this negative thoughts and what ifs. I get negative thoughts about what if he did, but I always try to revise it and say he wouldn't do that because he said we share a deep connection. He loves me a lot. What should, when says he had sex, what should you say? Guys, when you're on a break, they're kind of allowed to do whatever they want. If you have a problem with that, then that's about you feeling insecure about other people being competition or them loving someone else or liking someone else in the meantime. It's just girls he had sex with, if that's all it is. Don't think of it as he was in love with someone else. It was just attention. You know what I mean? If that's what's happened, don't read into it. That's about your own triggers and your own insecurity about comparing yourself to other people. But if you've got a massive problem with it, darling, you have to get over it if that's true. Or just imagine it isn't true and he didn't do anything of the sort and he's been totally celibate since you last saw him. Hey, Loz, I won't be on your live today, but thank you for all you do for everyone. I honestly, you are such a beautiful and giving person. Oh, thank you, darling. You're saving so many people with your teachings. We run this shit. Oh, thank you, Kylie. Thank you so much, darling. You watch this later. I don't know if you're still here. Hi, Loz. How would you revise my drunk messages to people? Don't worry about it, darling. I feel so embarrassed to the point where I can't even open my Snapchat messages. It makes me cringe. Or what can I affirm to help this situation blow over? Honestly, guys, in situations like that, you just got to decide no one cares. No one cares. One thing my therapist, when I very early on went to therapy in my 20s, said to me, Lauren, you're so concerned about what other people think. You've got to understand that most people are just sitting there thinking about themselves. They haven't even noticed what you've done. They haven't even noticed. They're too self-absorbed to even have noticed, darling. Just decide that. They haven't even noticed. They're too busy thinking about themselves. Say that. And it'll be true. And I can do anything and I don't fuck things up. No one judges me. Say things like that. Sinead, Loz, I've been doing good on self-concept and yesterday saw an SP story of him and made me miss him and cried for a bit. Doesn't matter, darling. That's okay. Is it normal as I've been feeling so good and happy in my 40, annoyed at myself for crying? Guys, don't be annoyed at yourself for crying. Sometimes it happens and it's emotion. Let it out and then jump back on the horse tomorrow. Don't beat yourself up. Paminda, hi, had got my birthday wishes from my SP this weekend. Oh, wonderful, darling. Enjoyed and focused on me and got a text from SP to have an amazing day yesterday. Really felt great and amazing because it feels like my life is turning out to be perfect now. The only thing that I'm overanalyzing and overthinking texts that my SP sends me, and I'm trying to work on that, but still everything else is perfect. Wonderful, darling. Don't read into it too much, guys. That's from a state of like feeling like you're not good enough or things aren't working out just yet or what do they mean? You decide what they mean. Right, Paminda? Samantha, I've got to your super chat. Hi, Lois. Thank you for the advice last week. I have affirmations of being chosen and good enough in love, but could you please give me some ideas of being chosen and good enough for financial freedom? Okay. Wonderful, Samantha. Thank you for the super chat, darling. So, guys, self-concept for money and financial freedom is pretty much hand in hand with your own self-concept. When your self-concept of feeling not good enough is prevalent, you won't charge enough money. I mean, I'll just give you an example. I happened across a girl who I follow who did coaching, 2 coaching calls with me, who's now a manifestation girl on TikTok. She's charging more money than I did for one-to-one calls. And someone was asking her what her, and I'm thinking, she's taken all the material from me and other coaches, and now she's charging more than I did. I was undercharging for my services, right? And when I sat down with my assistant and my web designer and everything to figure out the coaching, they both said to me, you're undercharging. Now, that's about my self-concept, feeling, oh, I'm not good enough to charge X, Y, Z. Whereas Kim Velez will charge like huge amounts of money or whatever for her coaching because she's strong in her self-concept of like, I'm worth this much, right? So if you work on your I am good enough stuff, it will go hand in hand with your money, right? There is a book called Think Rich, Lucky Bitch. I think that's what it's called. And the girl's now on TikTok. I think she's called, I can't remember the name of her. She's an Australian girl. And she talks about undercharging is a huge reflection of your self-concept. So sit down, darling, and write down why you don't think you're good enough for money. Write down all the reasons. Then also write down all the things that were told about money to you by your parents or what your parents were like with money. And your parents' history with money or your childhood experience of money will also have an influence on you. Like if you didn't have enough money, you couldn't afford anything, put that back. We can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. You need to work hard to make money. Stuff that you were told is also why you won't have financial freedom as an adult, right? There's a whole lot of things that can happen with money that will fuck your brain up about your worth with money. Like could be something as simple as when you're a kid, your parents divorced and then they fought about how much child support and then you feel worthless, like you're not worth the money. And you just overheard a conversation with your parents and then it fucks you thinking I'm not worth money. Even my parents don't want to pay for my dad doesn't want to pay for me or something. Right. And then that will stick with you. So when you go to charge or when you want to get a promotion at work, you'll always assume you won't get it. So I want you to start saying, I am worth the money. I know I'm worth it because my self-concept's really good now. I am more than enough. I'm more than enough for the promotion and the money and the financial freedom. I am financially free because I deserve it. Things like that, darling. Right? But really work on the I'm good enough stuff. It goes hand in hand. It's exactly, they're all linked. Okay? But investigate where you're getting that from. They're not good enough for money. It could be childhood stuff or it's just linked to your self-concept stuff. How do I manifest the message from SP New? Really sweet. Don't know where it'll go at the moment, but I've been intimate with him. I want him to offer me a message, and not ask if he'll comply, but I want him to offer me. Well, just imagine he is, darling. Imagine he messages you all the time. You're saying a massage or a message? I don't know if you want a massage or a message. Darling, whichever it is, just affirm you've got it already. Affirm that you and him are together already. Don't push it. Slowly, slowly catch your monkey and see you and him together and work on your self-concept in the meantime. Summer, I've started doing sleep tapes at night and during the day I've started to get mini anxiety attacks of old story, worst case scenario, etc. Does this mean it's working? How can I stop it? Sometimes you will, guys, but it doesn't seem to make me feel better in the moment. I'm worried the negative thoughts will manifest something. Don't worry, the negative thoughts will manifest. Look, guys, it's like therapy. Old shit comes up. Sometimes it makes you crabby for the week or anxious or give you nightmares. When you're bringing up old stuff that you've stuffed down, sometimes it will bring it up. And if you're doing it overnight, sometimes your brain really does not like it. Just push through. Stop doing the tapes for a while if you really can't handle it, darling, but it's just your old thoughts purging out and your brain trying to fight it. That's all it is. Just tell your brain that. Brain, you're not helping me. Stop that. Hi, Alejandra. Hey, Lois, can you repeat the affirmations you gave me about fears of being hurt? I want to be able to record them so I can remember them. I'm actually turning them into a YouTube video, darling. It's coming out on it's coming out tomorrow. It's the whole thing's on there. I'm answering is it your question or someone else? Is it you, Brianna, or Bree? I think I was answering Bree. Anyway, there's a whole lot tomorrow. So tomorrow is a premiere, guys. You can come and actually ask me questions, just like here in the chat in the premiere. I'll be on there half an hour before the premiere of the video at 9 p.m. EST. Come and ask your questions, and I give the affirmations in that video about 3/4 of the way through. But things like, I trust the people I love with my heart. I know now they're not going to hurt me. I'm not the old me anymore. I don't push people away. Things like that, darling. Go and watch that video because it'll all be in there. An area. Hi, Lois. Hi, guys. Oh, tomorrow's your birthday. Oh, Tara, happy birthday for tomorrow. Hello from Texas. Oh, I've never been there. As I'm doing the challenge, I'm trying to figure out how my parents doing a background check on my ASP was my fault and how to revise it. Also, how to affirm for a job for my ASP with him having a record. Well, darling, maybe you had a presumption in your mind that because he had a record, your parents wouldn't like him, wouldn't approve of him, and that's how it happened. Did you think, oh, my God, I hope people don't find out he's got a record, or when they find out, what are they going to think of him? And then that'll happen. Or your parents don't trust your judgment, or your parents are controlling, or whatever thoughts you have about your parents. That'll be why. Hey, Lois, for the first time, I don't feel triggered, or they're controlling of you. Hey, Lois, for the first time, I don't feel triggered. Just saw third party post a story with SP. Felt like crying for a sec, but then I reminded myself that I'm chosen one and his picture means shit. Yes, darling, the picture means shit. Wonderful, darling. All right. Do you have inner conversations with yourself? Guys, we all have inner conversations all day. That's our mental diet. That's our inner talk. Your inner talk creates your reality, as Neville says. You argue with yourself. Sometimes I have arguments with other people, but a lot of the time I'm arguing and talking to myself. That's what will fuck you up, guys. It's the stuff you're doing all day, the inner conversation you're having with yourself, you're not realizing you're having, that's causing your reality. That's why I say to you, sit down and write it for 20 minutes and you'll shock the shit out of yourself what you're thinking. Xmuddy Loz, I've just remembered I joked to my SP last month that no one, including him, would hit me up since February, has been so busy. That's happening now with him, and even my BFF's gone quiet. It's annoying when you predict something and you say, this is going to happen, then it fucking does. And you think, oh my God, I manifested that. Like I was thinking about making a video about the situation with Chris Rock and Will Smith, and I'm questioning whether I should do it because I don't want to jump on a bandwagon. But since I've watched more about Chris Rock and more about Will Smith's background, I'm realizing why they both manifested that themselves. And Will Smith has got this huge chip on his shoulder about his childhood and feeling like a coward and feeling weak. And so he has to stand up to people and stand up to his woman because he never got to stand up to his dad with his mum. And then Chris Rock has got a huge bullying thing in his childhood where he was constantly bullied because he went to an all-white school, mostly white school. He was the only black kid. He was even SA'd, abused, molested by other children, and constantly bullied. And so what happened to him that night? He got bullied. He literally manifested bullying again, and then no one came to save him. He stood there on the stage like, no one going to help me? And if that had been The Rock rather than Chris Rock, do you honestly think Will Smith would have got up and clocked him one? I don't think so. Because he's a little guy and skinny, and he's Chris Rock, and he's that everyone hates Chris dude, he could knock him out. And he probably predicted that one day he'd be humiliated again like he was as a kid, or I always get humiliated or I get bullied. And apparently poor Chris Rock has been doing over 7 hours a week of therapy for the past year to really get his head right. And here he is, he gets up on stage, someone hits him, and he's still getting bullied as an adult. So I really reassessed what I thought about that, because I thought that Jada Pinkett Smith had the C word. I thought she had cancer, but it's alopecia, and apparently she's very open about it. So why Will Smith felt the need to do that, I think it was coming from a place of she's a full-blown narcissist who controls the relationship, and she shot him a look as if to say, aren't you going to defend me? And so he felt like with this toxic masculinity, they had to get up and prove his manlyhood. But poor Chris Rock got the brunt of that, and it's really unfortunate. But they both manifested that. He feels like he's not masculine enough, and she cuckolded him for the entire marriage, last year, cheating on him. And here's Chris Rock, he gets bullied, and he got bullied on stage right in front of the whole world. Both manifested that. I'm weak, I need to stand up, and I get bullied. It's really sad. Like both of their childhood wounds on show for the world to see. Oh, who's just sent me a super chat? Hi, Nicole. Hey, Loz. I reached out to my SP yesterday after 5 weeks, no contact in confidence. He hasn't replied yet, and I've realized my confidence has lowered, and I currently feel really upset. I want to keep affirming. Look, Nicole, thank you for the super chat, darling. Look, if you do it out of confidence, a lot of the time it's really feigned confidence, and you're really reaching out of fear. A lot of you think you're being confident, and you're really not, because if you're really confident, a lot of the time you wouldn't have reached out at all. Right? However, I want you to give it a good story, that he's sitting there reading it. He's trying to think of what to say. He doesn't know what to say yet. He's writing it in his notes. He's writing it and rewriting it. He's thinking of what to say. He wants his response to be thoughtful. Or he's fallen down a well. Or he's been hit by a bus and he's in traction in hospital. Give it some good meaning, darling, rather than the meaning of I've been rejected, he doesn't want to talk to me. Because if you start going down that road, that's when you're going to feel really upset. Okay? I know it's really hard, guys, when someone's blocked you or isn't talking to you or is in no contact with you, and then you reach out and they don't talk back. It's like the worst feeling in the world, because you feel like I've extended the olive branch here. I'm being the bigger person. But deep down, if you really assess yourself, Nicole, it was probably coming from a place of fear that you had to, because he wasn't going to. Or sometimes you can think you're feeling confident enough, but really you weren't ready for the outcome if it wasn't what you wanted. That's why I say to you guys, if you're ever going to reach out, you really have to be okay with whatever the outcome is, including no contact again. And then be cool with it and not read into it and not spiral. So, darling, don't allow this to spiral you. Okay, don't be upset. Go, okay, well, this is a lesson right in front of my face that my self concept still isn't on point and I'm still seeing him as the old him and I'm still partially the old me, even though I feel like I'm not. I still don't feel chosen or loved. I still don't feel like he's choosing me because I don't feel X, Y, Z in myself about my self concept. Guys, when people show up unfavorably, you've got to think, what is that saying about me? And then fix it. Sometimes it's a real blessing. Then you can fix it. So by the time they come back, it's fixed. Okay, Nicole, don't be thrown by it. Think, what is this telling me about my self-concept right now? Okay, and then revise it. Imagine he has sent you the message. Send yourself the message you wish he'd send you. And imagine he has. I invited SP and kids over for a fire and pizza Friday night. In my head, a sleepover as well. He replied, "Is it a sleepover as well?" Of course, because we spend so much time together. That's great, darling. I feel attacked. What about what, darling? I've probably done this with my joke, damn it. Oh, no. SP1 was saying my self-concept affirmations to me while we were intimate, but I couldn't stop thinking about SP2 the whole time. Oh, no. Poor guy. Give the SP2s a chance, guys. Or SP1, whichever one, the new one. I feel like I'm being ignored now, and it's been a tad of struggle shifting my focus and hammering down self-concept. Look, guys, it's hard when you feel ignored, but that's about your self-concept. You've just got to work on, I don't feel ignored anymore. I don't get ignored. That's the old me. Loz, do you have any tips for constantly being paranoid about people talking bad about me? Yes, that's you feeling not good enough, darling. I've manifested it so many times and I don't know how to stop it with the fear. It's just you feeling like you're not good enough and you think you're not enough, so other people will talk about you. I remember I used to do that all the time, read into what people were doing. And when I was in therapy, I had a journal and I'd write, somebody over there's whispering about me. What are they saying? I've done something wrong. They hate me. They weren't doing anything of the sort. I was reading into it from my place of self-concept of feeling not good enough and judged and criticized. And then I'd read into what people were doing and they weren't doing anything of the sort. Darling, people are just thinking about themselves. They're not talking about you, thinking about you, talking bad about you. They're literally not doing anything of the sort. And if you think they are, you've literally manifested that with your fears of other people hate me. Stop thinking that. Everyone loves me. I'm everyone's favorite person. Everyone just says kind things about me. Say that, darling. Why is my mind always visualizing arguments and being defensive? I'm trying to not visualize them. Childhood was filled with parents arguing. How can I stop these thoughts? Well, that's what you're doing. That's why you're doing it, darling, because that was your MO. That was the MO in your household. When you're not happy, you scream and yell. When you're not happy, you argue. Just like my household. My parents yelled and screamed at each other the whole time. I don't remember them ever having a civil conversation. So you just learn that, darling. So you think the way of dealing with things that are fearful or hard or whatever is to argue in your own mind. Just tell your mind to shut up. Say, listen, I know this is how my childhood was, but I don't want this arguing in my mind. Thanks. It's really not bloody helping me. You're not helping me. We don't argue anymore. It's peaceful in here. It's harmonious in here. Thank you. And every time you have the argument, stop yourself. Start to notice my old triggers aren't affecting me anymore. Good, Sarah. What affirmations is good for people who black out? I've had 3 different friends say they will travel. I'll back out. They will travel with me and then either flights get cancelled or something comes up. I say I'm a priority, but I don't care. I don't know. Okay, so that's feeling not prioritized, feeling ignored, feeling like people abandon you. Do you have some abandonment stuff from childhood, darling, where someone left? Then you'll constantly assume everyone's going to leave. Or you just didn't have enough attention and people just left you alone. You're like, parents left you alone, so you constantly assume your friends are going to do that too. What else to say? I can't tell the root cause because I don't get what I want. Yes, but it's also that you think people are going to leave you because you're not enough and they're not enough to even spend time with, so they cancel. Or you might have a belief that all your friends are flaky and everyone flakes on you now because of history. But that had to have come from somewhere in childhood where someone constantly didn't give you the attention or actually left or rejected you. Loz, SB is better and my self-concept, but he has always shown up as super cheap, effeminate, not strong, reliable provider, cannot hold a job and never successful. Is this something I can change? Well, stop fucking describing him that way. Sounds like a female in a male's body. Why would you describe him that way, darling? That's totally the opposite of what you want. He provides for me. He's so giving. He's so reliable. He's so manly now. He's so masculine. He's the man I always wanted him to be. Say the opposite of that. He's got a great job and he's thriving. Stop describing him that way. Hi, Loz, how far, and stop doing things for him and being in the masculine role. If you're masculine, he'll naturally go to feminine because you're doing everything. Are you doing everything? Like providing and paying for everything? Stop fucking doing that. Hi, Loz, how far should one revise the old story? I'm revising mine, but I feel like I'm doing too much or too far to where it feels more like envisaging. Well, envisaging is manifesting, darling. It's envisaging a new reality or changing the old reality to a new reality. If you don't like revising, stop doing it. But darling, you are. If you think you're tricking your brain, oh, this feels weird, this didn't happen. Well, darling, that's what manifestation is. You've got to think new thoughts, even if they aren't what happened or if they haven't happened yet. You got to be a bit delusional, darling. Deal with it. Hi, Loz. A year ago, I left an extremely toxic and mentally abusive relationship. He has a black belt. He has black belt narcissism. No, he doesn't, darling. You're thinking he does. He's still trying to reach out to me, but I always ignore and avoid, as fully aware of how dangerous he is now. No, he's not. I honestly never want to see him again. Okay, but it's all about you, Amy, unfortunately. I know you say that I'm the cause, yes, for everything he did to me. So how do I stop blaming him and forgive? Well, darling, apparently everything's his fault. You got in the relationship, didn't you? You fucking chose him and you stayed. So why did you choose him and why did you stay when you realized he was a black belt narcissist and he was dangerous? What the fuck did you stay for? Oh, I know, because of your shitty self-concept. Guys, I'm really sorry. If you've attracted a narcissist, you have to fully eat it and own it. How did I do that? Because I'm telling you right now, most of my relationships were with the narcissistic men. And I had to realize I was an overgiver and a people pleaser and never felt good enough and put people above me and put them on a pedestal. And therefore I was always below them and then I got treated as such. So Amy, unfortunately, until you stop describing everyone in your reality as fucking your reality up and you're the victim of a person, then nothing's going to change for you, darling. He did this to me and he's a black belt in narcissism and he's dangerous and he this and he that and he and I can't forgive him for what he did to me. You haven't owned anything, Amy, and so I can't really help you because you're in victim world. I'm the victim of a narc, a boo-hoo, poor me. Well, fuck, Amy, you chose him and you stayed there. Have you assessed your childhood and how you got in that situation? Have you figured out if anyone in your relationships in childhood were narcs, like your dad or your mum? Have you figured out how you got to a point where you feel so not good enough you'll allow someone to treat you like that? Have you done any of that? Or you're putting it all on him and thinking it's all about them? If you do that, nothing will change. You'll attract a new guy. He'll be great at first, love bomb you. The same thing will happen. You'll be out back with your friends talking about him as an narc. And they'll all sit there going, Amy, it's you silly bitch. Just like probably all my friends did every time I talked about the next boyfriend who was treating me badly. Or all about himself, etc. How you stop blaming him is you stop blaming them. You go, I've got to own this. The end. Then you forgive yourself for attracting that person. And then you change yourself and you won't attract those kind of people anymore into your reality or manifest them into your reality. I've noticed the thoughts of what if this person leaves / this doesn't last or essentially gone. They don't have a hold on me like they used to. Wonderful, darling. That's great. Hey, Loz, I've had a long held fear not knowing what I look like. How come I come off to other people? It's why sometimes in the past I've been obsessive with mirrors. What self-concept problem causes this? Not knowing what I look like, how I come off to other people. Well, you obviously care a lot about your appearance, darling, and obsessive with mirrors. So do you feel not good enough in yourself in your looks? If someone criticized your looks as a child, or you had bulimia or anorexia, or you had someone around you like that, or compared you to other people all the time, that's a feeling of not being good enough and something's wrong with me and I'll be judged and I compare myself constantly to others. So you've got to say the opposite of all that. I don't compare myself anymore. I'm perfect just the way I am. I love the way I look, etc. Wavering between wanting to leave and level up and staying because I love him and great attraction. Darling, it's all about you. You can stay there all you like, but if you don't change your self-concept, he'll still treat you the way you are. They're a reflection of you guys. If you think they're shit and you want to leave and find a better one, well, you understand that until you fix your self-concept, you won't attract a better one. You'll attract the same one in a different body. But leave if you want, but I hope your self-concept improves so you don't attract the same fucker again. Hi, Stillman's face. I was saying slong made me my week. What a schlong. How do you record your sleep tapes? You just do it in voice memos, guys, in your iPhone, then loop it in VLC, the app VLC, which is free. Hi, Loz, sending you a super chat. Once you get this, cannot type on super chat. Oh, sending you a super chat. Once you get this, cannot type on super chat. Oh, where's the super chat? I didn't see it, Angie. Oh, hang on. Met my SP in the late 20s and only connection that was real. I've had lots of men chase me, but nothing like SP. I saved and waited for a love like him. He's a surgeon. I find men with busy schedule can't commit, and that happened. I thought it and it came true. I know he is my soulmate and we'll be together, but I'm crying. How do I get it together? I know we'll be together. Well, stop saying the story about he's a surgeon, therefore he has no time. Of course he has time. Elon Musk's even got time, and he's got like 20 fucking businesses. He's the busiest man alive. Guys, they've got time. That's a whole lot of you thinking, I'm not prioritized, I'm not good enough. So you won't be the priority because you don't feel the priority, darling. It's really got nothing to do with their job. You could be a bin man and have all the time in the world and still not prioritize you because you don't feel a priority. right? You've got to change your thinking about being a priority. Go and do my I'm a priority sleep tape. I know it says third party, but it's about being a priority and you don't feel one. So he'll turn up like that and he won't treat you like a priority until you believe you are and believe he loves you. Hang on, where am I? Where is it? Who's this just sent me a super chat? Oh, Melissa, thank you, darling. Hi, Loz. SP told me that he doesn't want to jeopardize our friendship by hanging out with me because he knows it'll lead to something more. I know I cause this with my hot and cold thinking. How can I best manifest consistency? You've got to consistently think he loves you and consistently think you're the girlfriend in your mind, darling. You've either put him on a pedestal, made him better than you, compare yourself to other girls, think you're not his type. You've got a whole lot of story about him as to why he won't choose you because you essentially feel unprioritized or unchosen. And so you're putting yourself in the position of friend only because you feel like either he's better than you or other girls' competition or you're not enough, which is a whole lot of I'm not enough, right? So why aren't you feeling enough? Why aren't you feeling enough to be the girlfriend? Investigate that. He loves me. He's so attracted to me. He can't keep his hands off me. Of course, he wants a relationship with me. He's in a relationship with me. Jump to that eventually after you've thought enough of those thoughts. But the core of this, darling, friends of benefits or being friend zoned is I don't feel good enough to be the girlfriend because of X, Y, Z about me. So, what are the X, Y, Z things you think about you that cause you to not be chosen by him? I'm not pretty enough. He's earns more money than me. He's not attracted to me, my body. I'm not tall enough. I'm not skinny enough. Other girls he hangs around with, they're like X, Y, Z. Where are you getting that from? You've got to flip all that thinking and go and do my I am chosen sleep tape, darling, because your thinking about yourself is causing him to think the same way. They can only reflect your thinking about yourself and your thinking about him. Have you put him above you, put him on a pedestal, think other girls' competition, think other girls are better? That's the thinking about him and other people. And then you've got to change that and thinking about yourself to feel like you are the girlfriend, Melissa, okay? Don't worry about what he said. It's simply a reflection of that thinking in you and the story you hold about him. That's all they're doing. They don't mean it. But give them Lord. They don't know what they do. They don't know why they're saying that. They're just reflecting your thinking about yourself. Oh, Angie, there's your super chat. Thank you, darling. Did I answer your question? So I did answer your question. Okay, so stop thinking he has a schedule that he can't commit. Stop saying that. We run this shit, yes, guys. Hey, Loz, is it okay to discuss old stories in therapy so we can get over them and start a new story? Yes, darling. We always discuss my relationship with SP that includes both old story and 3D and my childhood wounds. Yeah, that's fine, but don't fucking dwell there all day and then. Well, I mean, I'd really rather you didn't talk about your SP in therapy if you can help it. Just talk about your childhood because it's not the SP's fault how it turned out. It's your childhood shit that you're meant to be fixing in therapy. So sitting there talking about the SP has nothing to do with how it turned out. It's all your childhood shit. And if your therapist had half a fucking clue, they'd be saying to you, YB, this really has nothing to do with them. Let's discuss your childhood wounds, which is why this is happening. So discussing what happened with him as a way to figure out what childhood wounds that might have been bringing up is okay, but don't just sit there talking about him. You're really meant to be fixing your childhood in therapy. If you're not doing that, your therapist is an idiot, right? But you can do it, but when you step out the office, be the new you. You just had a purge and that's it. Big vomit in the therapy office. I don't listen to dating advices now because of you. Good, Danielle. Please don't. They're fucking idiots. I was saying my mum has the assumption that SP has had sex with people during our breakup, and how do I deal with her putting these negative thoughts in my head? But you're right. He is allowed to do what he wants. Darling, that's your thinking. If you think your mum's going to say that, it's because you think your mum judges you. You think your mum doesn't like him. And it's your fear that he's done that, darling. It's your fear out of everyone's mouth. Deep down, be honest, you're fearing he's done that. It's not about your mum or other people. It's you thinking he's done that and you fearing he has. And you're going to have to own that fear. What he wanted during our breakup, but I truly believe he hasn't had sex. No, you don't, because you're actually thinking that other people are going to bring it up. So you do have a deep fear somewhere that he has slept with other people. Be honest. Maybe talk to people briefly, but not sex. What do you think about these negative thoughts that pop up? They're your negative thoughts, darling, and you're understanding them. They're not coming out of anyone else's mouth other than they came out of your brain first. Somewhere you're thinking he has. So start thinking he hasn't. Oh, it's your birthday, Sarah. Happy birthday, darling. Spending it with my friend Loz. Oh, darling, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Sarah. Happy birthday to you. Wonderful, darling. Who just sent me that? Oh, I saw that one. Okay. Sarah, I've been focusing on my self-concept, went to a mini staycation with my bestie, have been getting attention from old SPs, etc. Since then, I have times where I don't think I have feelings SP anymore. What can happen, guys? My affirmations are also being reflected back to me, which is super exciting. Oh! Guys, when your self-concept gets better, you really level up, and sometimes you don't want them and you get all that attention. Just lap it up. Oh, hi, KCNRSE1. Thank you, darling, for the super chat. What is the best way to do self-concept where it doesn't feel monotonous, having a hard time getting it to root? Well, darling, if it feels monotonous, change it up a bit. Put some swear words in, exaggerate it, change the wording a little bit, but stick on a theme. So I am more than good enough. I am motherfucking good enough. Of course I'm good enough. Who wouldn't want me? Of course they want me. Like, swear or exaggerate or change it up slightly. So if you're saying I'm chosen, you can say stuff like I'm captivating, or I get all the attention, or of course everyone wants me. If you're chosen, you're getting sick of saying that. Change it up a bit, darling, but don't worry about the monotony of it. Sometimes if you're doing it too monotonously, it's because you're doing it like LOA way. I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I am chosen, I am chosen. And it just becomes gobbledygook words. You're doing it like that. That means you're doing it wrong. That's not what I say to do. I'd rather you did it 5 times a day with conviction. I am so chosen. God, I'm motherfucking chosen. Than going, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen. Listening, yes, 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 yes. Don't do that. That just becomes mush in your brain and you're not really thinking it. You've got to think of it and say it and think it like a conviction, like a truth. I am chosen, not I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen. Won't work. Your brain doesn't like it. It'll get annoyed by it. Like, what is that noise? Right? Please don't do it like that if that's what you're doing. That's how to fix it. Happy birthday, Sarah. Yes. Hang on. I know we don't need to manifest, but my affirmations used to make me excited, happy, and now I feel nothing in particular. Has it just become normalized in my subconscious? Can be, darling. Sometimes they don't make you feel happy because you said them so much. I love your PFP, by the way. What's this? I don't know what that means. Hi, guys. I've noticed my self-concept is amazing when it comes to people in general. I was in Vegas this weekend. People stopped me in the street to tell me I'm beautiful. Another guy gave me his money to gamble. Oh, my God, Summer. But when it comes to people I love or want, my self-concept makes me feel like maybe they don't prioritize me or choose me or whatever. It's just because you've got an old story about them, darling, and care about that more. That's all it is. You've got to get rid of those stories about your family or your friends or your SP. Strangers is easy. If you have these thoughts popping up, it's probably tied to self-concept you need to look into. I used to have these thoughts till I focus on self-concept, went away. Yep. What could be the dominant thought of someone saying you don't feel real to them and they don't want you in their life? Is it me, or doesn't feel adequate, or something even that's in their reality? It's never anything about them. Why are you blaming everyone else for your problems? Darling, if you don't feel real to them and they don't want you in their life, you feel ignored, not adequate, you feel generally not good enough, and then someone's going to reflect that. It's literally nothing to do with them. It's nothing in their reality. You're in your reality reflecting your thinking. They can only reflect your thinking, which seems like it is, I'm not good enough. And they'll just say that. They'll literally say it in a roundabout way. Affirmations for an SP who is in a friend, but I want to be in a committed relationship. Same thing. If you're friend zoned or you're a friend, you've got to see them as romantically involved with you, see you and them together in your mind, have living in the end scenes that you are a couple, imagine they're sexually attracted to you, romantic with you, treat you that way, and work on your self-concept of feeling like the girlfriend. Any things that stop you feeling like the girlfriend, work on that. So the reason why pretty girls got cheated on was because they have low self-concept, or they thought that their SP would cheat on them. Same with people getting divorced. Absolutely, guys. Everything's a reflection of your deep triggers and your old wounds. I know so many pretty girls, and so many girls are highly attractive who got cheated on. Now, it has nothing to do with their looks. It has to do with their self-esteem. Look at Halle Berry. She's got a predominant assumption that everyone abandons her because she was abandoned as a kid by her dad. And what happened with every single solitary guy she's ever been with in her life until now, until she's recently discovered law of assumption? They all cheated on her. Is she possibly not one of the most attractive women in the world? It's a self-concept that got reflected. Oh, lol, yes, I'm Brie on TikTok. Okay, so the whole video tomorrow is your question, and I've taken your name out. So it's your question, someone else's question, and the premiere says, stop pushing your SP away, and the affirmations are all through it. You can watch the whole thing because a lot of people are asking me to post it. And I think it'll be very helpful. It's called Stop Pushing Your SP Away, or why you're pushing your specific person away. It's a premiere. Go on, click who's that ringing me? That you'll follow the premiere or join the premiere, darling. Okay. I'm so excited for the YouTube video. Oh, good. So come a half an hour early, guys. You can ask questions. I truly believe he didn't. And when I have those intrusive thoughts, he did tell me himself that's not true and talk to me since the breakup consistently. Then, darling, how are you manifesting everyone talking about it then? Then you've got a real predominant assumption in your mind that everyone judges you and people criticize you and try to control the outcome of your relationship. You've got some fucking story about everyone else then. Figure it out. I came across your videos for the first time last week, Loz. It's really helped me to go back and look closely at all the beliefs I acquired in childhood. Thank you so much. Oh, wonderful, Jane. Hooray. That's great. What is a gut feeling? It's literally your gut being connected to your brain. Okay. So, oh, hang on. Can I just answer this? Hello. Hi. Hi. Can I come visit Mum today? Is that okay? I was going to come after lunch. That's all right. I'll come in about 2:30 at morning tea to afternoon tea time. Is that okay? Wonderful. Okay, I'll stay in her room then. All right. Thank you, darling. I'll be there then. Okay. Bye. Sorry, guys. My mum's had COVID, even though she hasn't had COVID at all. She's totally negative and didn't have a single symptom. And I've just found out that I can go visit her today, so I had to answer it. Sorry, but she doesn't have COVID. She never had it, but she had a positive test, even though I affirmed the whole time, she doesn't have it, she doesn't have it, she doesn't have it. Prognosis negative, and they've said the whole week, oh, she's not had one single symptom and she's negative. I'm like, no shit, but I couldn't visit her and she's in an old people's home. Sorry, guys, I had to answer that. So I couldn't get hold of them all week. Your mum is only reflecting how you're feeling within yourself. So this is your self-concept. I would stop talking to your mum about your SP, yes, and stop talking to them about your SP if everyone's reflecting stories about your SP, sleeping with other people, darling. Absolutely, what Star Moon said. Who's this? $5. Oh, the life of Nikki. Thank you, darling. How do I change my situation around with SP without reacting if we live together and he's saying he doesn't want it anymore? I've been affirming. Okay, so it's hard when you live with them. You'll be constantly tricky because they're in your face all fucking day. Okay? So if he's saying he doesn't want it anymore, I want you to sit down and assess how the fuck did we get here? How did we get to a situation where we were happy before and now we're not? What insecure, fearful thoughts have I been having during this relationship and during this living together situation that have caused this? He doesn't want me. He's pulling away. He's distant. Our relationship isn't what it used to be. Doesn't he love me anymore? Doesn't he want me? And then he'll go, I don't want this anymore. Because it's reflecting your fears that you've been having this whole time or part of the time. So write down what all those fears were. Start writing the complete opposite in this affirmation. Of course he wants me. He can't live with anybody but me. I'm his whole life because I'm good enough, because I'm chosen, because I'm special. And then figure out why you're getting those insecure thoughts. Like, what about your childhood circumstances and your thoughts in you are causing him to not choose you? I feel like I'm going to get rejected, or people always abandon me, or people always leave like my dad did, or whatever. What happened to you in childhood? Figure it out, and that's why he's treating you like that. And then see you and him living together, see it all as resolved. Don't worry about what he said. It's simply a reflection of you thinking he doesn't love you and doesn't want you anymore, and then he'll literally say, I don't want this anymore. So are you working on your self-concept or just affirming for you and him together? You've got to work on the self-concept issues that are causing that, darling, more than anything. I've come a long way with self-concept, living your beliefs. I'm slowly dropping the old story of my SP, but he occasionally like hurtful posts online, which cause a bit of pain. I want him to stop doing that. Well, stop fucking looking, Amy. I keep telling you guys, stop looking at social media, stop looking at their social media and being hurt by stuff. You'll just get hurt by it, constantly hurt by it. Don't look. Okay, it's my old thoughts manifest. If I look at it, it's going to hurt me. Stop looking, right? You've got to accept that you caused it. If you can't, you'll be hurt by it. So stop looking. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Loz. First live. Oh, wonderful. Kiara, happy Wednesday, Loz. Is it okay to live in the end while affirming self-concept? I keep imagining this particular scene. I find it so easy to affirm self-concept while imagining this. Feel like it's already mine when I do this. That's great, darling. That's great. Do that. If you've got a particular scene and you find it's really helpful to you and you can loop it and you can think it over and over again, you've got the self-concept to go with it, that's great. In the end, if they're with you, why does it matter if they sleep with who they sleep with? Yeah, exactly. You've got to not care. Yeah. Can we treat our subconscious mind like it's separate from us? You absolutely can, darling. Just say, listen, this has nothing to do with me. These old thoughts, you got this from my childhood. You can run with your own thinking, but please don't try and affect me. You are separate from me. There's me and there's you. Okay? There's you and there's the thoughts in your mind, and the thoughts in your mind aren't you, right? Separate them. Will Smith posted, we choose chaos tonight before the Oscars. I thought that was odd. We chose chaos tonight before the Oscars. Did he? Weird thing to say. Maybe he manifested the chaos with that comment. Loz, excellent analogy on Chris Rock and Will Smith. At first I thought she had cancer, right? Because I heard rumors that she had cancer, but it's not anything of the sort. And she's been very open with the alopecia. And the other thing with Jada Pinkett Smith that I really fucking don't like is that she very openly discussed their open marriage and how she fucked someone else during their marriage and just totally cuckolded. You know what cuckold means, guys? Like taking someone's balls off. Will Smith, for the whole of last year, gave him no kind of platform to be like, my wife's a big fat SLUT. He had to just eat it and be like okay with their open marriage, even though he clearly wasn't. And totally just took his masculinity away. It was just like, oh, you didn't fulfill me. I'm going to go sleep with this young guy. And you can see that Chris Rock actually muted himself because of what he was going to say when he slapped him. He said, I could, and he was going to say, I could say, why didn't you slap the guy who fucked your wife like that? I reckon that's the joke that Chris Rock had right on the end of his tongue. But he muted himself. And so Chris Rock actually acted like a gentleman in the situation, and Will Smith acted like a triggered thug whose masculinity has been totally depleted over the last year because of his wife's infidelities. Also, I don't like the fact that she turned up in a dress that was basically a huge truck of a dress. It was so fucking enormous. I think she had to probably sit in the car by herself to wear it, and it was his night. It was Will Smith's night, and yet her dress was like a pick me vibes. Look at me, look at me. If my husband was up for Best Actor, I would wear the most demure, unassuming dress to make the whole night about him, because the night's about him. And somehow, even though it was his night, she made the whole fucking thing about her. Because I think she is a full-blown narc in that relationship, and he's so overgiving and such a people pleaser that he's attracted a person like that. And he could change her, but he's such a people pleaser and feels weak, and so he's attracted to someone like that who constantly puts him down and belittles him and expects him to step up and stand up and be the man, even when she's belittling him and fucking other people. So I think the whole situation here is their relationship dynamics is a little fucked. Just my thoughts on the matter. And Chris Rock really could have said, there's a whole lot of stuff he could have said. There's so many jokes there on the tip of his tongue. And he didn't say them. And he could have, and really made Will embarrassed and Jada embarrassed. That's exactly what I said. The Rock could have said anything about Jada. And honestly, Chris Rock stood there like, he looked over like, is no one going to come to my defense or come and arrest him or take him away or say something? Like, no one defended him. He just kind of stood there like, oh, do I just keep going with the show now, do I? What the fuck? I've just been bitch slapped and I have to go on with the show? That were Ricky Gervais, I don't think would have happened, or The Rock, or an older gentleman, or, you know, a woman. I don't think Will Smith would have done that. Oh my God, true manifestation example. Chris Rock said in an article how he always gets walked all over. Yep. And Will Smith said he always feels weak and feels like the coward, and he feels like he has to seek revenge for the way his dad treated his mum. Childhood wounds, both there on display. And you think about Chris Rock, he would have been the young little black kid at school, would have been totally picked on. And if you listen to his interview with Howard Stern, he talks about how he was actually molested and so bullied that he has to go and do deep therapy. And in another interview with, I think it was Jimmy Fallon, he says, so you're doing 7 hours of therapy a week? Wow, that's excessive. And he goes, well, people do it in the gym with their bodies. Why can't I do it with my mind? It's the same thing. I'm sure The Rock just does that much every day on his leg day. He's owning his own mental stuff where Will wasn't. So I'm kind of siding with Chris now, kind of thinking actually Will was completely in the wrong, and you can't just go and deck someone because they made a joke. Otherwise, every single comedian in the world's going to get decked on stage. How's that going to work? Jada said Will kisses like a woman. Oh, lovely. So she belittles him in public now about his kissing skills and everything too. That's lovely. Been working on self-concept for a month. SP turned into the man of my dreams. Daily good morning text, seeing each other daily, and talked about a relationship. Now we got in a fight and he reverted back. Oh, darling, because if you got in a fight, you got triggered. Or you read into what he was doing and thought he was the old him, and he brought up something and you both got in the argument. Why are you getting in arguments? So, guys, the key here is when they come back, your self-concept can be great and they can be reflecting it. But if you get in an argument, it means you're still triggered, or you're still seeing him, if he started the argument, as the old him. The key is to not get in the arguments, or if you do get in the arguments, revise it, fix it straight away, and go back to the new version of him you're seeing. He hasn't reverted back. You've reverted back to your old thinking of him. It's not him reverting back. You're doing it. You're thinking he's the old him, Brianna. They're not doing anything. You're thinking he's reverted back. You're thinking he hurt you. You're thinking, and then you fucking go and revise the whole thing if you can, or accept it. Realize you did that with your own triggers, your old story of him, and fix it, please. Loz, I don't know. Hate to acknowledge it, but it's been 3 months since I've heard from SP. Didn't hear from him for birthday. Revised, persisted, messaged him in confidence for his birthday, but silence. What to do? Telling you, obviously holding a big old story about him, or you really haven't worked on your self-concept enough yet. And guys, look, sometimes you'll have months and months of no contact. I know how hard it is, but you've just got to own it and think, did I have a whole lot of old story about myself and him that was just not good, that's still playing out right now? To being nonchalant, how to get back to how things were. No, being nonchalant's not going to do anything, darling. The way you fix this is to change your story about him, Brianna, and your story about yourself. You can act nonchalant all you like, but that's just you acting out in the 3D like nothing's wrong when your brain's wrong. Fix your brain, please. I honestly feel awful for Chris Rock, and he just kept on going. I wouldn't have been able to stay on stage after that. I know. Now I know how picked. And think about it. His whole show, his television show is called Everybody Hates Chris. And here he is up on stage, and then the whole world just lauded Will Smith, went and hugged him afterwards, checked on him. No one checked on Chris. Everyone's, oh, Will, you all right? Everyone's going up giving Will a hug. Everyone hates Chris. He's just standing there. Oh, okay. Well, the cheese stands alone. Do I? I'm just alone again. Oh, I guess I'm just the reject again. Great. And it played out right on stage. Seeing all the people coming up to Will Smith. Who went up to Chris? It's really sad. But I think he's going to be the victor in this. I think Will's career is going to suffer. He's going to look like an idiot, and he's going to look like a cuckolded moron. And I think Chris Rock's show already sold out that night, and it's going to boost his career because he really took it like a man. He was very gentlemanly about the whole thing. And all he's done is written a big long apology and not accused Will of anything. Should I just affirm any change and change your story? Yes, Brianna, please. Love hearing your thoughts on how certain famous people manifest particular circumstances that the public sees. It's literally helpful to understand manifesting overall. When I bring out the self-concept course, I will do a self-concept series about certain celebrities like Khloe Kardashian, etc., and all those things, because I think it helps because you already know the person. Hi, Angie. I won the lotto, not the jackpot yet. I don't gamble. My first ticket I bought. Do I stop manifesting my SP? Lol, just the lotto, or is it okay to manifest two things at once? My SP is still number one. Darling, you can manifest everything at once if you want, just your whole life in general being great. But I would stick to maybe 4 or 5 major things like money, lotto if you want, SP, house, or whatever. Just a few things so your subconscious isn't overwhelmed. You can just say everything in my life is perfect. Everything's working out for me. I'm financially free. My relationship's perfect. Everything's perfect. And say something general like that too. Okay, but focus on I'm a lottery winner. I've stepped in the state of lottery winner. I buy every ticket as a winner. I always win. Go and watch the lady called The Contest Queen on here. She wrote a book, or she republished a book by a lady called Helene Hadsel called Name It and Claim It, and she won every single competition she ever entered because she always stepped in the state of winner before she bought the ticket or entered the sweepstake, whatever she did. So you can do both, darling. Have some winning mindset affirmations like I always win. I'm always in the state of winner, and I'm SP's number one. I'm a winner in his eyes. He loves me. I'm this and that, and your self-concept. Okay, Angie, thanks for the super chat, darling. So would texting them for their birthday kind of be dumb if you know you're only doing it for a response? Well, doing it from a place of I just want to say happy birthday and be a good person, fine. But if you're doing it because you want a response from them, probably not. Because then if you get disappointed, how are you going to feel? Think about how you're going to feel, guys, if you get a wrong outcome. Can you handle it? You're the best, Loz. Like, you are so kind and wise. Oh, thank you, darling. Well, first, don't message him, stuff like that for one. Yeah, try not to message him, guys, to get an outcome if you can help it. Have you seen Manifest with Kimberly's new video about boundaries? No, darling, I haven't. I don't watch anyone's stuff. I haven't even seen Kimberly's one about the Instagram hacking after you guys all told me. I haven't watched any of them. I don't watch other people's YouTubes, guys. I just don't have time. Rather than having a conversation, saying happy birthday instead. Yes, say that, darling. Do it in a conversation about having a happy birthday message from them in your own mind. Hey, Loz, how do you change your old self-concept? I find mine spiraling a lot. Darling, sit down and write all your thoughts for 20 minutes. You'll see your self-concept right there in front of you. Write the opposite as affirmations and really work on those self-concept affirmations. And try each of my sleep tapes and see which ones resonates most for you, darling. Then you'll know which affirmations to use, which problem it is. I do have a question. My cousin got cheated on by her boyfriend and the girl knew about her. My cousin said she's going to reap what she sows. Isn't that using the saying wrong because she created him cheating? Yeah, she kind of doesn't understand. She's blaming the girl for the problem. So the girl didn't do anything to her, right? Well, I find it amusing when girls blame the girl. Like he came along and there's a girl on TikTok whose husband ran off with their nanny and got the nanny pregnant. And every single video is about the nanny. And I feel like running, bitch, you created that. Shouldn't you be angry at your husband? What are you angry at the nanny for? Nothing to do with the fucking nanny. You were married to the dude. So people love blaming the other person. Unfortunately, your friend reaped what she sowed by not trusting her boyfriend or feeling like she wasn't good enough or whatever. Unfortunately, she's just not saying it. So there's no point telling them because they'll get upset. If you turn around to her and say, actually, you manifested that, she'll probably be like, bitch, get out of my house. Sometimes, guys, it's better to keep your mouth shut, especially when people are hurting. No point telling them they created bad stuff. They'll get hurt. They'll get their feelings hurt. Most people don't want to hear this. Most people want to stay a victim and blame the other person, so let her do that. Please, I have started being able to see some of my closest friends' core self-concept issues. I want to help them change, but I don't think they want to, and they are religious and don't believe in the law. Look, guys, they won't be able to hear it. If they're really religious, they'll probably be brainwashed, and they'll be the hardest people to get through to because they think you're being blasphemous, saying God is in me, because they haven't understood the Bible where it says, do you not realize Jesus Christ is in you? Test yourself and see. They've conveniently forgotten all that stuff in the Bible, right? So faith, just imagine them different. See them differently, manifest for them, darling, because sometimes when you try and teach people this, they're fully asleep and you can't teach them shit. So don't even bother. So the girl didn't do anything. Yeah, I saw that one. Sarah, I'm still waiting, hoping for them to say it was all staged. Don't worry, no, it wasn't all staged. That absolutely was not all staged. Don't post things like that on your private story. It's misconstrued. Yeah, don't post anything to get their attention, guys. Please, everyone, they care about lies to them. They are constantly waiting and watching people to lie to them or about them. I even get lied to 20 years ago. I'm generally honest, but rudely so. What are you talking about, Faith? Well, stop saying that people are like that. If you think they attract liars or they lie or they're constantly waiting and watching for liars, change that story about them. See for the blind man, Faith. See that your friends differently if they're that fucked up. See them differently. Then ask yourself, how am I attracting these kind of friends? Have I attracted these kind of friends because my self-concept was poor before? Oh, yeah, that's right. I manifested my ASP back, but last night he said he doesn't want to hurt me. He said right now he's just messing around and having fun. We were talking about marriage a few weeks ago. Oh, no, darling. Well, that's awful. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so, darling, just imagine he didn't say that. Go back and revise it. Imagine that's just come from your old self-concept of feeling like he didn't love you, didn't want you. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're waiting for this to go bad. That's all it is. And just imagine he never fucking said that. Okay? And work on your self-concept. And think about what were all the fears you were having before that came out of his mouth. Will Smith and Chris Rock should be here on this live right now and get it together. I watched this one documentary by Will Smith that included his family. He went through healing, and Will definitely came from a hard upbringing compared to Jada. She's taking advantage of it for sure. And also Jada went out with Tupac, and Tupac is considered a hero. Can you imagine if he didn't stand up and didn't knock Chris Rock out, and she would have gone home and would have said, Tupac would have stood up for me. And then how would he have felt? He's always got the Tupac on his shoulder. Tupac would have done this. Tupac's a hero. Tupac, because they went out. Right? He's also got that. Hang on, where was I? I've lost my bloody place here. I feel so bad for Chris because he's 57. Oh, my God, 57 is he? Black don't crack. Jesus Christ, he looks so young. He looks like he's in his 30s and still dealing with his childhood wounds manifesting over and over. I know, bless him. Bless Chris Rock. I feel really bad for the guy. I want to give him a fucking hug. No one went and hugged him. Everyone was hugging Will. Loz, when is the course coming out to figure out your childhood root causes coming? I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm not going to say this, but I used to be such a perfectionist and procrastinator, and it is the bane of my existence, and I never get anything finished. I am now going to get this finished because I'm going to put an egg timer on every day, time myself, and give myself set time to get this finished because I need to do it for you guys, if not just for me, but for you guys, because you're all waiting for the course. I'm really sorry. It's my self-concept affecting me doing this course and getting it finished. Here I am. I've applied to multiple jobs and not heard anything after the time period they said. Would I reach out? How do I firm against this while I firm the job I want? Just imagine you've got it, darling. Don't worry about reaching out. When I started doing self-love affirmations, my SP committed to me, and now we're in a harmonious and very happy relationship together. Oh, thanks, Amanda. Wonderful. You did that, darling. Congratulations. Keep going. I haven't revised my old story, but every time I have a thought of the old story, I change it into something positive. Does that work as a revision? Yes, darling, do that. Change the story. Change the story. That's wonderful. Work on your self-concept affirmations, and when you get negative thoughts, switch it back to the positive self-concept, and you will get your SP naturally. Oh, wonderful, Max Abundant. Yes, that's what you did. Work on your self-concept, and when you get negative thoughts, switch it back to the positive self-concept. Yes, darling, love that. After doing mirror affirmations, I can finally look at myself in the mirror and don't cringe. Big step for me. Thanks, Loz. Oh, Mel, that's wonderful. That's great. You will get there. You just assume you already are there, and when you slip off, go back to the self-concept positive affirmations. Great, Max Abundant. Love these things you're saying. There is an app called Think Up. It's free and loops your recorded affirmations in one app for you, and music. You can add the background. Oh yeah, you can add music in the background, but VLC is free. But yeah, Think Up, you can add music. My self-concept has been great. Many people have been hitting on me. I saw a movement with SP, but when I'm around her, doubts start to creep in. I don't know why this happens, because you've got an old story about her. You're doubting she loves you. You're doubting this is going to work. It's just an old story about her, and you love her. So fix the old story, John. Thank you, Angie, for the super chat. Always the sunny Kathy. Loz, when is the call? I saw the one. Quick question. You're totally right about Elon and how he has time. Me and SP are seniors in high school, and we dated, but he told me we'll date in college because that's the last adjustment he has. Well, you've got a story to make. I mean, little success story, because did mention dating again, which I had the assumption we would, but I know I can manifest us to date now and I have to wait. What should I change about me? That he loves me now, that I'm chosen now. Of course we're together now. Stop thinking you have to wait for it, darling. That's about your self-concept not being chosen by him right now. Hi, Loz. My SP has been sending me a lot of mixed signals over the past weeks. Others tell me he has shown interest when I get brought up, but it seems like he shows interest to every girl. Well, that's your assumption that he's doing that, darling. Stop thinking he talks about other girls showing interest in other girls. That's you feeling not chosen and you feeling like other girls' competition to you. Stop thinking that. And you thinking he doesn't love you and you can't believe that he does. Go and do my I am chosen sleep tape, please. Hey, Loz, my SP is now a fan of yours and manifesting. Oh, really, Brianna? I was in negative mindset a few days ago and he was with me this weekend. My SP looked at me and said, stop thinking that or it will manifest. Oh, really? It's great when they're on the same page. That's great, darling. What do I affirm when he says I deserve more than he can give me? I know I caused him to say that. It was an old thought I had before. Well, there you go. So backtrack. Know that you said it. That's why he's saying it. Don't think anything of it. It came out of your brain and out of his mouth. Don't worry about it. Don't believe it. No, well, I thought that, didn't I? I worked on my self-concept for a few days and my SP and I are in a very good relationship now. This is something anyone can do when you just level up your inner work daily. Yes, Fakes Abundant. I love that. Working on your self-concept affirmation will change your life for the better. This is real. Yes, darling. Love it. Look at Will Smith. He is a good-looking celebrity and got cheated on. Exactly. I think it's because I've been affirming me and SP2 are in a serious committed relationship and then I slept with SP1, but I couldn't stop thinking about SP2. Might be that, though. Thank you. I'll change it up. Good. Notice I've been saying it with conviction as much recently. Haven't. But I figure it's better than letting the old shit run rampant, working on fixing that. Yes, darling. Sometimes they feel a bit rote. Don't worry about it if it does like that with the affirmations. Do you believe in karma? Also, I love your page. Oh, thank you, Joblin. No, darling. Karma is just thought reflection. You're just putting that religious belief on it. Okay? Whatever you send out gets sent back. So if you send bad shit out like you want someone to die, well, it's thought reflection. It'll be reflected back to you. Bad shit will come back. So don't do that. I got J&J vaccine and I'm having nerve pain. Oh, fuck. And chest pain. What affirmations can I say in this situation to feel better? To be honest, it's giving me anxiety. Fuck it, darling, Jesus Christ, bless you. Okay, so go back and revise the fact that you had it. Imagine you didn't fucking have it if you absolutely can. I never got vaxxed. I'm anti-vax. Decide that. If you can revise it, really revise it in your mind like you never had it. If you can't do that, then say, my body is healing itself naturally. I don't have any side effects. Any side effects in my body are naturally going away. My body knows how to heal itself. I don't feel any pain. I am pain-free. I am breathing as normal. I'm back to normal. All my nerves are back to normal. My nervous system has renewed itself. Start saying those things, darling, and really concentrate on that. And go and do my anti-anxiety meditation and also the Joseph Murphy healing tape in the Nevolution channel. Except apparently it's called Nevolution in Japan now. Someone said that to me that I didn't understand what it meant, but she's named it Nevolution in Japan. I think that's because she's trying to change it up to a vlogging channel, which won't work. I don't think that'll work. I think she'll ruin the channel. But if that's what she's trying to do, go ahead. When we have fears about things happening, is it better to just affirm against those fears or ignore them? Affirm against them, please. Don't concentrate on them, and they will happen. I feel so bad for Chris, yeah. I had a huge movement with my person, so much intense warmth and love. Then a split second, a cold energy. I noticed I was feeling so high and had a weird thought or sensation of not good enough. Guys, if you feel not good enough, if you think, oh, the other shoe might drop or when's this going to go bad, it will. Unfortunately, you'll manifest it. It's really unfortunate. Stop thinking that, darling. Hope you do better soon. Yes, darling. Get better soon, please, with all those affirmations. Hi, Loz. My SP has been sending me a lot of mixed signals over the past weeks. I saw that one. Don't repeat your question, guys. I've realized that I compare myself too often. I don't know how to truly accept my appearance and feel good enough as I am. Go and do my I am chosen sleep tape with the I am priority. Alternate nights, darling, and use the affirmations in that because that's you comparing yourself to others and you've got to stop that. Hang on, guys. Hi, Loz. Finished my volunteering shift. Oh, hello, Ben. When we write the new story of SP, how elaborate does it need to be? Is it really as simple as I know he's in love with me, I'm the best option, no one else matters, he wants to be convinced me? Yeah, but you have an old story about, but he's got issues and his mum hated him as a kid and now he can't love women. And if you've got an old story about anything, get rid of that. What does it mean when your SP, what was my SP2 but now he's my SP2, says he doesn't understand why I like him so much, everything great, but he doesn't understand since we met randomly on Bumble? What does it mean about my thinking? He doesn't understand why you like him so much. Or maybe you're thinking you're overgiving, people pleasing, that you like him more than he likes you, and then he'll reflect that, like, I like him more than he likes me, and then he'll go, well, I don't know why you like me. Yeah, Jaden's toxic. Yeah, I don't. Something about her, I don't like her. She's got a bad juju. What does it mean about my thinking? That you think you're not good enough for him, darling, and he doesn't like you. That's what you're thinking. Yes, Will Smith was hurt by being cheated on, so he got triggered by Chris Rock's statement. Yep. And he laughed at first at the joke, and then he realised her reaction. He was like, oh, better stand up, be the man. Loz, I don't know, hate to acknowledge it, but it's been 3 months. I heard that one, guys. Please don't repeat it. Jada Pinkett has so much masculine energy. Yeah, I think she wears the pants in that relationship. Jada was always trying to compete with Will. That's the problem with that relationship, and he's so much more famous than her. She's like B grade. He's always been A grade. He's always been more famous, and I've watched a lot of relationships with actor friends of mine where one's more famous than the other, and it never bodes well if their egos aren't in check because they can't stand that the other person's more famous than them. So in turn, they have to run the relationship maybe because they can't stand the lack of attention they get. Like, can you imagine if he's out and about with her? People are like, Will! No one would go, Jada! No one would give a shit. They'd be like, oh my God, Will, can you sign my autograph? I love Fresh Prince. La, 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 la. Hi. Can I have a photo with you? Imagine how many times that happens to her. No one would give a shit to have a photo with Jada Pinkett Smith. What's she even done? I can't remember what she's in except Magic Mike 2. I can't even think of anything she's ever even fucking been in. And she wore the ugly dress, but it was enormous. It was a pick me dress. Like, look at me. Please, can I take as much attention away from my husband as possible? I'll just take up the entire red carpet with this massive dress that's the size of a car. That punch is an expression of weakness, yeah. And it wasn't even a punch, it was a slap, which is weird. I thought it was a punch at first, but he slapped him. Weird. Well, Will cheated on her too. They had an open marriage. Only thing is, I don't blab it out like she did. Well, I think it was her choice. He said it was her choice, and he was very hurt by it. I watched there was one documentary, yeah. Will Smith included family. He went through healing, and Will definitely came from a hard upbringing, yeah. Can we change celebrities or strangers by changing our story about them? Yes, you can, darling. See them differently. See for the blind man. Do you think that once we become conscious of how much power we have, that it sometimes makes it harder to manifest such as relationships because normally we would just move on? No, darling. You can see your power. You know you created it. You know you can change it. Every time I was thinking about going to his social media, I can hear you yelling at me in my head, good. Chris Rock was so good at like going on with the show. I know. A lot of people will think it was staged because Will was laughing at first. Yes, I know. Regina King made a joke about their open marriage. Oh, did she? I didn't actually see the whole thing. Will Smith is too goody two shoes. Well, that's why he's acting up now. I've always been the good guy. Like there's a Eminem song where he says Will Smith doesn't have to cuss in his songs, in his rap songs. And now he's like the cusser. You know what I mean? Will Smith and Chris Rock should be here on this live. We also grew up in West Philly and had to prove his hard. Oh, yeah. Will also grew up in West Philadelphia and had to prove his hardness in comparison to other black men. He also probably feels the need to stand his ground. Yep, absolutely. And if you've grown up in an abusive household and you're always in the situation where you couldn't help your mother, God knows how you will manifest that anger. in adulthood, you might even become violent because you watched violence against your own mum and felt helpless, like you said you did, felt weak. It's absolutely the best when there's discussion about self-concept on your live. It's so fun and educational. Thank you, darling. I think Hollywood is crumbling. Chris Rock used to have bad acne. He hit on me 1,000 years ago. Did he? He hit on you 1,000 years ago, Alison. Really? Really? And you turned him down? Poor Chris Rock. Even you turned him down. Even you rejected him. Oh, no. Absolutely agree, Lola. Dude, kissing like a woman is a compliment. Oh. EST comes back when you work on self-concept. Yes. Loz, you should do a sleep self-concept analysis. Yeah, I will. Do you like him now? He has clear skin, lol. Yes, poor Will. I mean, poor Chris. Can you make a video about celebrities, please? You're so good and you would know some of you. But like, can only be celebrities I know about. Like, lots of Kardashians I know about, so I can talk about them at length. I can talk about J-Lo and Mariah Carey and people I know about. Loz, what made the penny drop for you that we manifest everything, that people reflect us? What was the moment? When I fucked up my relationship last year, the first time, and realized I'd caused that and thought, hang on, I manifested him back, but I fucked it again. How have I done that? And then I was like, oh, it's me doing this. It's my self-concept. It's not about him. And I'd visualize and stuff a lot, but and manifest a lot, but then I'd lose things. Then I saw a pattern in the way I lost things based on my self-concept of feeling like I wasn't good enough and I'll get rejected and things wouldn't work out for me. How's your day been, Loz? Great, darling. Hi, Loz. I work with young people and I've been telling them all about your videos. One of the girls is 16 and is manifesting a man that is 30. And everyone keeps telling her she's too young for him. Any tips? Well, maybe she watches my videos. She might realize that it's got to do with issues with her dad, or her dad wasn't ever there, or she'll decide that she can do whatever she wants and who cares if he's 30. Let her watch the videos and make up her own mind. Like, oh, thanks, Marissa Lou, for the super chat, darling. Do you have a question? Oh, you do. Hi, Loz. I asked a few months ago about my SP not coming to meet my parents on New Year's. Backstory, my brother died in November. Oh, darling, and I just wanted to be with him and my parents on New Year's. Yeah. Fast forward to now, we haven't spoken since January 1st, and he hasn't asked how I've been since my brother passed, and I couldn't let it go. This weekend I saw him with a third party. Oh, no, darling. I've worked on my self-concept enough to be, oh, I just jumped. Christ. To be disgusted and give up on him. Okay. There's another part to this I just saw. Even though I'm letting him go, I took a page out of your book and said he's going to rue the day he stopped talking to me. Well, yeah, but I did that from a place of like, you're going to come back, not rue the day like I'm angry at you and seeking revenge and I hate your guts. I was doing it like, you're going to rue the day and you're going to be back, not rue the day from revenge and I hate you. You're doing it from you've hurt me and now I'm giving up on you and hating you and you're going to rue the day and revengeful, which isn't going to fix anything in you, which is sadness that he hasn't been there for you. The thing to fix right now, darling, is feeling like you get abandoned by people or they're not there for you or they don't give you the love you need. That's what you need to fix. Saying you're going to rue the day you left me and be angry at him and hold on to that anger, it's like drinking poison and expecting him to die. The only person who's going to be poisoned is you. So don't do that, darling. When I said about my ex-boyfriend, you're going to rue the day you left me, I meant it like, you're going to really regret this. You've done this too many times to me. You've rejected me too many times and you're going to be back and really be regretful. And that's how he acts now. Really regretful for the way he acted. Not from a place of like, I want to hurt you and I'm going to leave you and hurt you and seek revenge on you. That's very different. That's coming from a place of anger. Don't do that, darling. Start really thinking, why did I think he wouldn't be there for me? Did I have any fears he wouldn't be there for me? Did I have any fears that this is such an awful situation for anyone to handle, that no one will be there for me, that people can't handle this, that I'll be rejected because of this, that people aren't ever there for me, that I get rejected or I get left or I get pushed away or people don't love me? That's what you've got to deal with, darling. Being angry about him is not going to do anything except hurt you. Right? Understand? The worst part was no one did anything. I know, Beth. They'll just let Chris Rock stand there, poor guy. There's a bit where he like looks around, like, is this really happening? My friend got her SP back a couple of days ago with your advice. Oh, Red Berries, really? What made the penny drop that this is real? Manifesting. Oh, really? What did she do? That's great news. Uh, hang on. Where are we? Oh, wow. This has really jumped. So I was reading these. Will just took the greatest moment in his career and tarnished it. Oh, no. Can you imagine? He's been wanting that Oscar his whole life. I feel sorry for all the other people on the night who got the attention taken away from them, like Jane Campion and people who should have had a lot of attention on them, like female directors and things. And the guy straight after in Questlove from Jimmy Fallon, people barely even acknowledging his speech or too busy talking, poor guy. Nothing feels the same anymore. It's like now we know the truth, but social media posts are very victim mode and same as people. Will this get better for me as I feel lonely knowing all of this? What are you talking about, Claire? This is in regards to something else. Hi, Loz. I work with young people. I've been telling them all about your videos. One girl is 16, manifesting 30, and everyone keeps telling her she's too young. Any tips? Nothing feels the same anymore. It's like now we know the truth. Social media posts are very victim mode and same as people. Will this get better for me as I feel lonely knowing this? Well, darling, don't feel lonely knowing you manifest your reality. Start thinking that everyone else in your reality believes this too and understands this too, and no one's being a victim in your reality. If you think everyone in your reality is being victims and posting things on social media for attention and they're all victims, you'll experience victims. Don't have that belief about others. Is that what you're saying? Or are you feeling lonely and you're the only person who knows about this, so you feel isolated? Well, that can happen a little bit, darling, but stop thinking that you're going to be isolated. Fast forward to now, I saw that one. Oh, yes, this is saved on YouTube. Yeah, straight after. I've worked on my self-concept enough to be also the one. I feel bad for Will. Everyone laughs at his relationship, makes jokes. I feel bad that he snapped at the Oscars. Yeah, me too. I feel bad for them both. Good news, Loz. I made a huge progress with SP last night, constantly thinking and affirming their feelings and working on my self-concept is really paying off. Oh, wonderful, darling. Great. Yeah, I agree with completely what you said there, Starman, about him. If you watch Jada Table Talk, they open up about the entanglement. Jada had zero emotions while Will's eyes were full of tears. Really? Oh, how awful. Poor fucking guy. He's been so cuckolded and embarrassed. What if I post on social media because of how better and confident I feel and not because of my SP? So I should just assume it's for me and not for my SP? Yes, darling, do that. She's definitely toxic, yeah. Alone, what she said on TV about the relationship, she could keep it to herself, and she embarrassed him in front of so many people and she laughed about it. Really? Oh, God, she's so fucking toxic. I don't like her at all now. No more Will Smith and Chris talk. Yeah, okay, let's stop talking about it. My friend got a recipe back. Oh, that's wonderful, darling. Loz, what can we do for more hope? I've been doing everything I need to. What more can I do? Am I not affirming enough through the day or something? I feel like I don't do everything right. Well, don't worry, darling. Stop beating yourself and saying you're not doing everything right. This stuff takes time sometimes. Just be patient, darling. Don't beat yourself up. Passing auditions or dream jobs. Imagine you have the job. Imagine you have the role that you're auditioning for, darling. When we write the news story of SP, how elaborate does it need to be? I saw that one. Just change everything you think. Do you teach letting go of outcomes? No. And forgetting desires when manifesting? No. I get it confused with intentionally detaching, which sounds manipulative, but those same coaches pin it as law of assumption. They're fucking idiots, darling. No, sweetheart, you don't have to detach from anything. Jim Carrey had the best response to the Chris Rock Will thing. Oh, did he? Oh, I must go find it. I love his opinions on stuff. Can my thoughts change? Where will I find that colour? Can my thoughts change who he was when he showed up, meaning who he was, his whole story before meeting me? Change the whole story, darling. Only you can do that. Inspired action is something misconstrued by people, darling. You don't feel inspired and then do it. You only look back on the action you took and then think, oh, that's why I took that. That's inspired action. When you think about it, that's why I'm not surprised his reaction. The whole world makes jokes about him because of her. Yeah, let's stop talking about it. You're always crying your own reality. Yes. Hey Loz, I had a bad dream yesterday and it was basically a nightmare about SP that showed my negative beliefs and it gave me anxiety. How can I fix that? Because apparently I still have those bad beliefs. Well, don't worry, darling. If you get anxiety about your negative beliefs, just start affirming that your negative beliefs don't manifest, don't have any hold of you anymore. Go do my anti-anxiety meditation, darling. Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, good. Hi Loz, I applied for affordable housing and it's a lottery. What affirmations? Just imagine you have the house already. I love my new house. It was so easy for me to get. I can't see anything. My glasses have gone all dirty. Oh, it's here on my eye. That's fine. I'm going to go soon, guys. I've been here forever. Hey, Loz, since last night I've been having negative thoughts about non-existent ex with current SP. I figured out it's been streaming from past relationships. What's the best way to affirm against it? Well, where are you getting this non-existent person? That's ridiculous, darling. Stop thinking about that. That's your old thoughts. Oh, thanks, Star Moon Space. Thank you, Loz. I've been working on my self-concept after our talk a while back, and guess what? My friends are throwing me 4 weekends of birthday parties. First time ever that my friends are celebrating my birthday. Oh, wonderful, darling. When's your birthday? Oh, that's great. Happy birthday. Oh, that's lovely. 4 weekends. Holy shit. Thank you for the super chat, darling. Loz, what does it mean when I don't like certain people? I don't like Jada either. Guys, some people you just don't like because it might bring up memories of your childhood. You just don't like their character. Don't worry about it. One time you went on a rant on TikTok about looking at third parties and understanding they're not me. My SP will never get the loving relationship we have together. Can you go on a mini rant on this? Well, guys, they're not you. And you've got to understand you're comparing yourself to them. They're not me. They don't have the character I have. They don't have the love in my heart that I have. They don't know them like me, love them like me, see them like me, love them like me. They don't give them the same understanding and support that I do. They don't know them, know their childhood, know their life, know who they are like I do. I see the real them. They're not me. Stop seeing them as competition to you guys, okay? My birthday was yesterday. Oh, was it, darling? Happy birthday. So they're celebrating with me the whole month of April. Oh, wonderful, darling. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear star moon space. Happy birthday to you, darling. Yay. SB's mum left him at 10, so now he's soft-spoken and gets taken advantage of. I want to be feminine. How do I affirm for him to take control of his life and be more masculine and confident in pursuing me? We'll get rid of that story. Imagine that story doesn't affect him anymore. Okay, that's what happened to him, but it doesn't affect him anymore. He's so masculine. He's so manly. He stands up for himself. He's not softly spoken. He stands up for himself. He talks a lot now. I've had someone like that, and I saw them differently, and they were different by the end of our relationship, okay? Describe him and see him completely differently. Thank you. Oh, been working on my self-concept as well as getting back into the gym and eating nutritious food. Oh, wonderful, Heather. My speaker coming back and always would say, I'll call you, but he wouldn't. Now I know it's because I'm thinking negative beliefs, old story, and self-concept. Yep. Can you please respond to my super chat, please? I saw it, Angie. But where was the question? I responded to your question, but I didn't see any question in the super chat, and now the super chat's disappeared. Oh, okay, here it is. Is there a difference between loving yourself and self-concept? I grew up in a family with great example of love. Dad is beautiful to my mum. I can't imagine I would have this kind of situation with SP. You can't imagine having someone loving you like your dad loved your mum. Why can't you imagine that? If you watch that, why can't you imagine that will happen for you? You've got to start imagining that will happen for you, darling. You deserve that kind of love, just like your dad gave to your mum, that your SP is beautiful to you. Start stepping in the state of, I'm just like my mum and I get treated beautifully like my mum did. But the difference between loving yourself and self-concept is you can say I love myself all you like, but your concept of yourself is, oh, my mum had a good relationship, but relationships never work out for me, or I'm not chosen. My mum was chosen, but I wasn't. There's something about me that's different than her, or me that's different than everyone else, that I don't get the love, the chosenness, being chosen, being picked, things working out for me. So where are you getting that from, Angie, that you don't believe it's going to work out for you and your SP isn't going to treat you that same way? I'm not as beautiful. I wasn't picked at school. I was bullied. I wasn't enough. I didn't get enough love and attention. When we were at home, my mum got all the attention from my dad, but I didn't get the attention. I wasn't showered with the same level of love and affection that my mum was. I was the odd one out. I was left out. I was ignored. Where's it coming from? What in childhood happened to you that makes you feel like you won't get that same level of love now as an adult? That's what you've got to figure out. Because why wouldn't you see that as an example and then think you would get the same? Something's happened to you where you don't feel you deserve the same or will get the same. And just tell me what your childhood was like and I'll be able to answer it. Make sense? I can't imagine I would have a hard relationship. I thought it would be super easy and beautiful like my parents. Oh, okay. Well, then say that. But there's something in you and your self-concept that's not allowing it to be easy. So why are you reading into your current relationship or your stuff with the SP as hard? Why is it hard? What's hard about it? Do you argue a lot? Do you get triggered easily by them? What is making it hard? Only you and your triggers make it hard. So what are you getting triggered by? Tell me. All right, guys, what can I call this live? We'll call it Will Smith and Chris Rock. We'll call it that because we talked about that. And then we'll say self-concept because we're talking about self-concept. Maybe I'll just call it Will Smith and Chris Rock's self-concept and more. Okay? That will be the thumbnail, guys, because we talked about that a lot on this live. Where's the rest of this, Angie? Just tell me what why you're thinking it's going to be hard. SP. So this one. Pete DeFranco on YouTube covered the Oscars fiasco the best. Pete DeFranco. Oh, thingy DeFranco. I know who you're talking about, the DeFranco dude. Yes, what's he? It's not, the name's not Pete DeFranco. It's something DeFranco. It's not Pete. It's something else. I know which guy you're talking about. He has a YouTube channel. I must go watch it. DeFranco. I know this guy. And he. Oh, anyway, he's been around a long time. I don't think it's Pete. I think it's something else. Jim Carrey said he would sue for millions. Yeah, because you can't go punching comedian just making a joke. Actually, he probably should. Maybe Chris Rock should sue him for defamation of character and humiliation, public humiliation. Ooh, we could. But I think Chris Ross is a bigger man here. Jim Carrey did an interview with GMA and said that they shouldn't have given him a standing ovation. Hollywood is horrible and such. Yeah. Yeah, standing ovation and you just slap someone probably isn't the best. I honestly don't get it, Lola. I had the most loving childhood and no problem meeting great people. Then what's the problem with your relationship, darling? If you tell me why your relationship's hard, I'll be able to tell you. Maybe you just got a story about your SP and that's related to your self-concept. Guys, you can have the most loving childhood in the world, but you can still have self-concept issues of feeling not good enough or feeling not chosen or feeling like you get rejected or feeling like people are going to abandon you or feeling like you won't get attention or feeling like you won't be loved. You can still have the most amazing childhood and still feel that way. This SP completely switched my way of thinking. I still do understand that the only guy I said yes to does this. Well, then what's the fucking story you're holding about him, Angie? It must be really fucked up. You've got a real fucked up story about him. He hurt me and he did this. He's so busy and puts work ahead of me, chased me for months and then went silent. Well, then you've got a predominant assumption that you're not the priority. Well, you're not a priority as a child. Let me give you the tip. If your dad was all over your mum and beautiful to your mum, were you not given enough attention as a kid? Or not prioritised and your mum and dad's relationship was prioritised? I know a lot of people who thought they had really good childhoods, but when you talk to them, their mum and dad spent all their time together, left them alone a lot, and the dad was madly in love with the mum and everything was about the mum, and the kids were second best. Were you second best? And you don't even realise it? Could be that. I'm making a guess here because you're not giving me enough information about your childhood, and apparently I'm meant to guess. It's all about your childhood, guys. Don't blame the guy for the way he turned up and chased you for months and then went silent. It's about you, Angie. You got to work it out. It ain't nothing to do with him. Supposedly Will apologise after the show to Chris. Well, I'm sure he did. He would have to. Bakes abundant. When you do the affirmations of self-concept, that is good because you'll see how others react to you in a very positive way, not just SP, but like everyone looks at you differently in a good way. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's everyone, guys. Lois, thoughts on manifesting SP, but not want them to appear until months from now because I want to keep working on myself right now. Is this sabotaging manifestation? No, darling, you can say I don't want it just yet. I'm still working on me. Absolutely. Don't worry about that. But you don't have to be perfect, guys. That can turn up and you don't have to be perfect. Don't have to think your self-concept has to be perfect. I thought about it, but no, always when empowered. Very strange to relate this to childhood. Probably need to do more soul searching. Thanks for your time. Well, darling, I can't fucking help you if you don't tell me more about the situation or your childhood. Maybe you just had a really big story about this guy, so amazing, and he's got so many other girls after him, and I hope he doesn't leave, and I hope he likes me as much as I like him, and then he's like, bye. Because you put him on a pedestal. Did you do that? Was he like extra special amazing in your mind? Could just be just that. So when SP comes back and you had a real story about his job, he's really busy, and because he's really busy, he won't give me the attention I need, and he didn't. So when your SP comes back and I'm with SP, I still affirm self-concept, yes, please, otherwise you'll get triggered again. Don't want to manifest that for you guys, but it happens. When you do your self-concept affirmations regularly, you'll see positive changes in your life. I know it has worked for me 100%, and it happens quickly. Wonderful. You affirm self-concept for life. Yes, Star Moon Space. Love that. All right, guys, that's going to be the name of the thumbnail. I'll post it now. You can watch this back. All right, guys, thank you so much for all the super chats as well, and thanks for joining me, and I'll probably be live on TikTok later. So come and join me on TikTok and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.